Good afternoon. This is the 1st of March, 2020. Finally got around to March. I came back about 10 days ago from Spain. Trip to Spain was a pretty big deal. I was there for 20 days. Traveled around Spain to about 4 or 5 different cities and was very impressed with Spain. It's a very nice country. Has a very moderate climate, anywhere from 45 degrees at night up to 80 in the summer. That's it. Tons and tons of olive trees, just all over the place. Miles and miles of them. They produce 30% of the olive oil in the world. And the area I was in produced 80% of that. Went over to North Africa, to Tangier. That was pretty interesting. Went to the island of Gibraltar, and that was very interesting. That's a very interesting piece of rock. Toured it, went up, not right to the top, but about 3/4 of the way up. Didn't go right to the top, but they have their little apes up there, monkey apes. I don't know what they are there. They been there for hundreds of years, I guess, and they have a big cavern in Gibraltar. It goes down 700 feet. It's in the inside of the mountain. They have a big concerts and stuff in there. And 32,000 people live on this rock. The airport goes right through the middle of town. And when an airplane lands, the alarms on the streets come down, stop the traffic, and turns into a runway. Pretty interesting. Anyway, that was a big trip. Won't be doing that again. But to me, it was like California on steroids. It was just a very nice country. Miles and miles of coastline there with nothing but palm trees and development, all developed, big hotels all along it, the whole way. And it's a playground for Europe, winter playground for a lot of Europe. And when I was there, end of January, beginning of February, it went up to 68 to close to 70, I believe, and down to maybe 40 something at night. People were swimming in the ocean. And sunbathing and sun tanning every day. So anyway, I got back and got a terrible bloody flu, cold, whatever. I started coughing on the plane on the way back. I thought for sure they were going to throw me off, or was it Coronado virus they're worried about. They're really worried about it now, but nobody said anything. I just muffled it a bit so it wasn't too loud. But I went through 4 airports in one day, 27 hours when I got back. And I was totally whipped. My immune system was most likely minus. But anyway, I kind of had a hell of a cold and actually ended up with some pneumonia. But that's over with now. I'm going to be going into hospital in about a week for an operation on prostate, I guess. And I was informed the other day that they x-rayed my chest and said I had a bit of pneumonia, and they also found a spot on my lung. So now I gotta go in for more tests. So anyway, coronavirus, carrying on with that more and more every day. Stock market is going in the tank, and politicians are starting to blame each other for this and that. I noticed that they're doing their darndest to try to blame Donald Trump for coronavirus in the States. That he isn't doing enough, he isn't doing this right, he isn't doing that right. It's just terrible what people politicize and weaponize everything there is now. Just terrible. Yeah, the I didn't notice things in Spain too much. I didn't notice, like here in Burns, for gosh sake, we got crosswalks painted in all different colors now for gay stuff. And the other day was supposed to be some pink Tuesday or something, and Diversity Day or whatever, which is basically gay promotions. And somebody sent me a picture of an RCMP vehicle in town here that was all decorated up in pink and gay colors and whatever else. I said to that person, I wouldn't believe, somebody would have asked me a couple of years ago, I would not have believed that the RCMP would not be neutral in things like that. Now they're all in, voting gay and lesbian and whatever, and that's all happened since women joined the RCMP. No other reason for it. Yeah. Basically, it's a shame, a real shame that an outfit like the RCMP has to become degraded like that. But women will do that because of jealousy over men. They, God said that women are not to rule over men and whatever, but nowadays that's happening. In the last, hasn't always been like that. It's just in this last maybe 2 generations, and it becomes more and more degraded all the time. And I know lots of people don't like somebody saying that, but if they're honest, they know it's the truth. I know it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. It'll keep getting more degraded. Our whole society will degrade down to the last notch before everything comes to an end. It's on the way to an end now. And this coronavirus, for instance, they'll blame politics and blame all kinds of things. Well, it's predicted that there will be troubles and there will be pestilence, which is disease, and all kinds of weather-related problems and stuff. They will not, they'll just say it's blaming it on global warming, CO2, whatever. Don't blame it on something, blame it on God, because God has ordained this, that it will be, and it will happen. And it's like birth pain. It gets worse and worse. Oh yeah. The the people who choose that, it's a bad choice to make because they're making a choice directly against God's will, and I can't see how that's going to help them in any way, shape, or form. I mean, how's that going to work? I mean, they're doing this to themselves in a terrible way, and for anybody to speak out against it, you don't get, I know people just hate it when I say that, but I can't help that. I mean, I didn't write these laws or do anything, uh, but I know that people have decided that they can make up their own laws and their own things, and never mind what God has said. You know, they claim that this coronavirus could have started well, it did start in China, and they did say it could have started from eating exotic animals and things like that, and snakes and gosh knows what. God has specifically said not to eat things like that. Specifically said that. So, what do you expect? It's amazing that it's actually amazing we've lasted this long. It's it's hard for a guy like me who lived this long to recognize and realize that everything is on a downhill go track, especially anything to do with moral or spiritual stuff. It is going down the tube like crazy. And it's sad because it doesn't have to be that way, but it's going to be that way because God has said it will be that way, and it takes its time. You know, God, no one knows when it's all going to happen and how fast it's going to happen or anything like that. Don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that I'll believe what God says, is not what some Yahoo says this week and different next week and whatever. So I don't know. The thing is, everyone's going to have to account for themselves. There's no question about it. So I pray for my children and my family and whatever. I pray for them. Ask God to forgive them, actually, because they don't know what they're doing. I hope that will happen. And I'm leaving it in God's hands because I can't do anything about it myself. My wife is very sick. She's had 2 heart attacks, a stroke. Now she's got a tumor on her lung. What more can a person get? You know, what a way to end up. Oh, terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. I hate the idea. Um, she got it in her head. She was going to live her life the way she wanted to, and wanted to be like free or something, and to do what she wanted totally, and no restrictions or nothing. Well, that's what it's led to, and it's sad. I certainly didn't want to see that happen. Oh, I really feel very sorry because that's very. I never expected her to have to suffer like that. No, I did not. Anyway, Things are going as planned, I guess. So I hope that people do realize what kind of a world they're living in one of these days. I hope my family understands that, my sons and my daughter, and forget about trying to be so politically correct and be more interested in what society and the neighbors think instead of what's right. And hopefully, maybe that'll happen. I doubt it will happen, though. I doubt it very much. So I guess it's going to go the way it's going to go. I guess that's enough for me, eh? Well, hopefully we have better news next time. Thank you very much.